Welcome back to Kane's Corner. How are we doing tonight? Um, I've been trying to get a show in for a while. Actually, last week was tough, man. Kids' vacation. I had a stretch from uh, about a week and a half where I had them, and it was just hard to get a show in. Unfortunately. Um, so a lot of stuff happened last week. It was unbelievable week of shows. But unfortunately, the past couple days have been the crazy as it gets. I guess I first saw somebody post something. I think it just said cinema, and then I saw somebody else write something similar to that. And like honestly, the first person I wrote to DM'd was him. Like, what the fuck? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? um, and then obviously I actually did things I've never done. I called Jackson. I think it might have been him that I saw that kind of had the news first, and he didn't answer at first, and he called me back, and he kind of confirmed it, and then obviously Kirk's direct, I'm sorry, Kirk's tweet came out, and yeah, it was unbelievable. I don't, I really didn't have words for how I felt. It was, I know, rationally it's crazy because you really don't know these people personally, and I understand that. It's just something about him, maybe him in general, and just how it happened, and all of it all together. It really just hurt. I mean, it really hit me hard. It was like, wow, I just couldn't fucking believe it. So I did see his sister post something about a little get together, which I thought was I didn't it had happened in the afternoon, and then the next day they're doing a get together, and Um, so I saw that and decided, hey, definitely, I think it's a no brainer. Um, it's I can, you know, when something like this happens, tragedy like that, I mean, it was a very unique experience for me personally. It is unbelievable to see people come together like this, to the outpouring of support, um, with a podcast host that is as much of a class act as you get. I mean, Kirk is a genuine great guy, and it just everything overwhelmed me. To be honest, I still am I was very bummed out about it. I'm still kind of bothered by it. It's I know it just doesn't intellectually. You say, what the fuck? Like, how could you care this much? But for some reason, I do. Contrary to what some people may believe, I talk to Cinema Lodge a good amount. Um, just a um, just a great guy from my interactions, and going to that house and meeting his father was unbelievable. He was, somebody that just went through that to be that gracious. I know already because I'm from the area. I kind of knew, I kind of almost knew exactly how that was going to feel just getting there. The first person I saw was Dave, and then all his friends and everybody was just obviously really broken up. And I saw his father first. He was dressed like Cinema Lords, and just a terrific guy. And to had gone through that, to be that just that great, it's hard to believe. I felt real sorrow for his mom, who I met, and she just looked like, and I've seen this look on my own mother, and it's just that shock of, even when it happens, it's the shock of it. And he just seemed, I think he was just doing it for her, to staying strong, and just it was just an experience that it's never going to happen again, and uh, I think when people put out there that they they're gonna have people over. People, I've been there too. You want people around, because that eventually does end. People around makes it a lot easier, and that's what it's about. You go to a place like this to show your support, for not just because how great a guy he was, but what the family's going through, and you should show up for those things. Be there and be present, and understand the moment that you're in. And I think I took that all in. Now there's been some great exaggerations about my eating of the sandwich, and I think Kirk's having some fun, but I will say this. I mean, to be fair, because I grew up around a lot of Portuguese people. I think I understand the culture real well, and to not take the sandwich is kind of disrespectful. It's kind of I don't know. It's not something that you're supposed to take the sandwich. Uh, so, but you know, and I will say Dave took the drink quicker than I took the sandwich. I will just say that he was not drunk. I'll be fair here. He looked broken up. I mean, Justin was great. We did get a quick crying moment, which they talked about on the show today, which was all time. But it was you don't have that experience. I don't think that'll ever happen, something like that ever again. And um, when I was 20 years old, one of my friends, a pretty decent friend, died in a car accident. He died, and everybody else lived. And I remember that night we went to his house, and it was very eerily similar to what I went through yesterday. Yesterday, his father downstairs in that basement was just like a montage of just memorabilia, and it just was an awesome setup down there. And my friend's father had a very similar setup, and in the same kind of way, showed us around. And it was that same kind of feeling of just you look at people and know what the pain that they're going through, and as a human being, even people that you might not like, and whatever's going on in your life, uh, you have to be moved by that, by the way these guys came together. I mean, this is a strong family unit. You could feel it, and me personally, when I came out of that house that day, I understood why he was like he was. I mean, just it was, it's just horrible, absolutely horrible. There's really no more you really can say about. I'm not going to pretend to like I personally knew Cinema Lords, Nick, but you could see the kind of bond him and his friends had. You could feel it with the family, and they couldn't have been more gracious. The situations are tough, and you know, yeah, I just I'm actually grateful that I went through it. It's just there's some stories out there. I don't know where this toilet story came from. I mean, I could address it, I guess. I will say this: I did go into a bathroom, and just so his father knows, that system downstairs, the toilet, it does have a weird swirl to it. So I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. But no, I mean that would be unthinkable in there to go in there and drop a number two. That can't happen. That is fake news. I don't appreciate that kind of slander. But overall, just it's I think you heard Kirk say today. He's part of the fabric of the show. If you really love this show, um, I'm almost surprised. I know. I mean, I guess I'm maybe nuts. I guess, but I just saw people like tweeting yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know how you could. How you tweet about anything? That's all I could think about. And, I guess it's just it was just it's very emotional. I mean, I feel you had to meet those guys maybe to even get more of of the dread of what it is. I mean, I know you lose a child at 32. It's unthinkable like that to be that just sudden. And then to meet his father and his family. Yeah, I just it was something. So, and today's show was awesome. I mean, just awesome. What a tribute. One of the best shows they've ever done. Um, it was perfect. I guess if you think about what could have been better, maybe having some of the calls more lined up or something, or nitpick. It was a great tribute to a great guy, from a guy that runs a podcast that really understands the moments like this. There's nobody like this guy. There's just not. And something it makes you think about things I've done in my life, or in general, just things you say to people. And it's he's a class act. And it's I mean, you just saw it. You saw it today. Why I listen to this show is why it's real. It's real. Real emotions put into this. People dedicate time in their life for the show, and you feel like you're part of something. It has that kind of feel to it. It's an unbelievable fan base for the most part. Get to some people that aren't so great later, but today was a home run. Just a fantastic, fantastic show, and just a great tribute from all of them, all the guys there. Mama K too. She played her role. She didn't say much. I think that was a smart move. And she stayed out of the way. We got a mutt performance for the ages. Now, I know the Wish Project. I'll just say this. I'll just say this. I mean, if Mutt's donating his time there, that's real work. That's real work. You're dealing with. I mean, I go donate clothes there. Good. I probably donated there maybe 10, 15 times maybe. And they have so much stuff in there to sort through all that and go through that. That is work. You don't know what you're getting. Who knows what people are bringing you? I don't know the exact process. I always thought they kind of maybe wash stuff, or I don't know. So I always dump my clothes over there and take my little ticket for tax implications. And yeah, that's real work. But it was crazy, like them almost like trying to beg them to go to this wake or funeral and trying to talk them into it. And it's like, holy shit, we really need to do this. I mean, if he's gonna have a wake, you have to be there, Mud. It's a no-brainer. You have to be there. I'd say you really should go to both, but I understand sometimes funerals are a little more private and family oriented, but the wake is, you got to be there, Mud. You got to make it happen. Got to make it happen. He's not a big Tim and Can fan. We found that out today too, which was I don't really like Tim. And well, Tim in the old days too used to break his balls a lot in WEI, but I don't know how you couldn't like Tim, But again, I wouldn't want Tim in my, follow me around for the day either, probably. But Mutt had a good performance today, but it was about Kirk, and obviously the really about Cinema Lords. Nick Soares, just a great episode today. A great episode. Just that's why I watch. That's why we do it, man. It's stuff like this to show the kind of person, and it's the kind of podcast it is that gets the get this much praise for a fan of the show, and rightfully so. Deserves all that he gets. But it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. What else we got today? Oh, yes. Well, we'll get to the bad parts. We'll get there first quick because I don't want to spend too much time on this, but these spaces have gotten pretty toxic. Let's be serious. First of all, most of them suck. I mean, absolutely fucking suck. Jake does fucking 10 spaces a day. Then it's him and some other guy fighting, and they're all basically the same people. They just suck. They're just not good. I'm gonna tell you, I was actually kind of upset yesterday when I heard this. I know people have their own opinions. That's fucking fine. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions. But I heard, two Canadians, trying to make the point, and again, and have your own opinions all you want, but trying to make the point that I went there for clout or some kind of like thing to like see Kirk or whatever the fuck. I mean, are you really that fucking stupid? I mean, you're that sick. Like, is there something like wrong in your head or like? Who the fuck would do that? That's insulting. I mean, it's insulting to actually to Cinema Lords and his family. Think that somebody would go there to do that is it's actually like it kind of just blew my mind. I know I've like I've you hear a lot of things and I've been in my own. I've done a lot of this to myself, and I'll admit that. But sometimes you hear things, like, man, that is a fucking really hateful thing to say. I mean, absolutely hateful. To be honest, I was surprised more people didn't come. That's kind of shocking to me. I mean, because I would always show up to something like this, I guess. So I don't, if there's anybody that's, you really, I don't know, maybe it's just him in particular that just hit me hard, but um, just these fucking spaces are toxic. They bad. They are so bad. Unbearable to listen to. The same shit over and over. Boring. But it's also like it has these people in there that are just really hateful people, and I mean I honestly resent the fact that you think I would ever do something like that. To me, that is, I mean, somebody does that, you know, that's as low as you get. It's all low as it gets. And um, that really, I couldn't even believe hearing it. I shouldn't think this way. I mean, why would I not think this way? I mean, this is a gentleman that was, a week ago on fucking Spaces, high on coke, and splurting about nothing. So if that's the person that's saying, I guess you take it, from the word from the mouth from the person saying it. It's fine. I don't care what you do on Spaces. I'm just me personally. I'm just staying away. I'll listen from the background. Some. I'm not going to any of those spaces. I'm just all set. It's not for me. Not for me. There's some that are like actually interesting and actually have some thought to them, and as a host that like knows what they're doing, doesn't just like their need for attention overtakes everything in their life, so they got to do 10 spaces a day. They have no fucking life. Maybe I'll go on a different one, but it won't be that. And it's just absolute. It's just dread too. It just sucks. Be better. That's all I'm saying. And I guess I haven't even got to weigh in on this though, but it's kind of getting old now. I don't know. We also did get that Justin crying situation yesterday was great to see. I enjoyed it. Real emotion, and Kirk's like, I can't do this again, which was great. But no, personally, I think you gotta say that Mary kind of put on a masterclass. She really did. Um, it's clearly was intentional to break up them right before the show. I don't know how far she really thought about this, but she sucked him in like an unbelievable masterclass by her. She completely knew that he was, he's a fucking pushover, which is okay. Like Justin is a great guy, just a sweet, gentle soul. And she definitely used that because like it is an odd thing to like, I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna break up with you. And in my opinion, I agreed with Portnoy. It's like you can't just go and say, hey, whatever. If you really like the girl, you got to ask some questions, which he kind of just was ready to let it go. And she took him to the woodshed. And look, this all could be for the greater good. And of course, like he gets married, has kids, and then we all look back and have like this is where it all started. She played that master class on you. Uh, those were some riveting episodes. I mean, the one when he walked out was just terrific. And I know it's they're back together now, so it kind of took a little steam out of the little juice out of the story. But yeah, my main take was like she really did a great job. She played her cards right. She went on Twitter, which she knew would bother Justin. I don't think that was like she didn't know what she was doing. I think she knew exactly what she was doing. And smartly for him, like if I'm him, I'm the same way. Like I don't want anybody meeting my girlfriend either. Like it's, you know how it is. So congratulations, Justin. Before you know it, I know he told another one of his, his hopes and dreams that this kid thing won't come up for a while, but it will, be masterclass number 2. And before you know it, little Justin will be here. So congratulations. good job by her. She got out quick too. She got in and out, and she took him to the woodshed. What else? Oh, yes. Um, the basketball game that I am looking forward to. Obviously, it's upsetting. Cinema Lords won't be there. Obviously, what I'm wondering is, I'm hoping for the tryouts that they're open, that we get to actually like watch them. I'll definitely be there for that. And I am really looking forward to this game. Some of the guys that came yesterday looked good, and some didn't. We're not gonna rip anybody. We're not gonna do that. I don't want to be that way, because trying to be nicer. I'll try to be nicer, but I'm just gonna say that some people look real good. I mean, Bean by Ground was in all-time shape, and he also said to me, why couldn't it have been you, Kane? So I mean, we do have that, and look, I laughed it off. I hope he was joking, but probably wasn't. But it looked great. John and Warren came in, looked good. Kirk said what he thought about Pat, but I think Pat's going to turn it around. He's going to have a big season. Mick looked good too. So they got a good shot. I am predicting it's going to be, I guess they're going to have 2 slots open now. I don't know what the exact formula is going to be. Kevin from Bristol, I want him to make the team, just for my own selfishness. Of course, I want him to make the team. I just don't think he's going to. Now, Gus told the story how he blew his back out bowling. That's not gonna bode well for basketball, because those dudes run. It's a lot of running. I'm gonna go with Brando. I think Brando's gonna make the team. He's all invested. He has his little hoop at his assisted living that he's been not making the shots on. I think he'll win over 1 spot. I think Brando will get a spot, and then there's going to be a second spot that's going to be kind of a it'll be a Minifan, but I think it'll be somebody kind of under the radar. And then hopefully they can get Polar back. So I mean, it's hopefully it all comes together. And what a game that's going to be. I missed the last one there, and that's upsetting. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the whole process, because that was really fun. That was some of the best part of the show that to me it's ever happened, is that basketball team. So I'm excited for that, and looking forward to it. Oh yeah, I remember the other one. I will say this: the Brando Mayo show. The first time I saw it, maybe I didn't pay attention close enough. You know what I mean? So I went back and I heard Menor say, he thought it got, it got better as it went on. So I gave it another shot, and I listened to it a second time, and that was a Brando performance for the ages. You have to say. I mean, Andy did everything he could to try to topple that show. And Brando's competitiveness is just drive. And, they got to that later. And the show did turn around. I will say Andy also took it, and he said he was an asshole, because he was an asshole. He's got this weird thing where if like the show's not going exactly how he wants it to go, or he thinks it's going to be bad, he's like worried that like if you put it out, like nobody cares, Andy. Nobody watches these fucking shows. I don't understand why you're so worried about it. It was just a weird, like, what an asshole. I mean, honest to God. And he turned it around, and it turned into a pretty good show. But he is the fucking worst, and Brando he just kept staying in there. He wouldn't give up. He just kept pushing. And eventually, like, if it was up to Andy, the show would have been gone. I mean, honestly, if I was on with him, I would have got rid of him. I couldn't have done that. I give Brando a lot of credit. You turn that show, and it actually turned out to be a pretty good show, and it's all Brando's fault, like in a good way. It's his success, because Mayo, for the first 17 or 18 minutes, just was dog shit. He just totally tried to ruin the show. I hate that shit. I honestly hate that, like he's like looking down at him, almost like you're on with me, Brando. Like, who the fuck are you? It's like, well, like, can't you be a little playful? And eventually turned it around I got to give him credit where it's due. He definitely turned it around. But that was tough. That was tough. Not sure like what Andy's deal is. His nickel worth of free advice is a good show. He never does it. I mean, Brando does a show basically every week. So I don't know. Like if you're gonna bring him on, bring him on. They didn't talk about it ahead of time. There was that long pause, which was terrific. And even Andy had to laugh because it was just crazy. And I struggle because I'm an Andy guy. I do like Andy. I think he's very, when he does a good show, it's a very good show. But he was horrible. And then he turned it around. But he was horrible. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. And then I'm gonna get out of here pretty soon. But you guys really, you should be watching this Cat and Pat. Listening. I'm sorry, there's no watching. This Cat and Pat podcast. Let's chat with Cat and Pat. You all right? Today's episode was as uncomfortable as anything you'll ever hear. It was fucking wild. They literally fought for an hour about things. I mean, I'm trying to like. I know I'm not really being. I'm like, there's people that are like, out there really struggling, and these guys are fighting about the stupidest shit, and it is absolutely electric podcasting. I really like it. It's a show that you can once you get going, it's hard to get out of it. It's a lot. It does become kind of repetitive in a lot of things, but when you get a real good one, you're glad you stuck around for it. And today was one of those. Pat is he likes himself a lot. And I was Team Pat on the show. I have to say, if you go listen to it, you'll see. It was a typical argument with a woman that you're winning, but somehow it gets turned back around and you lose. It was one of those. Those are always fun. No matter what you got, it's because what happens is you lose your cool. And once you start like saying words that you shouldn't, you lose. So, Pats needs to just keep his anger under control because he was cruising, man. He had it on lockdown. Like he had all the points right. And then he kind of started to become angry. And she just was like, she's like, see, that's how you are. You're always angry. And then he puts him in the light like he's a semi-abuser. So it was a great episode. I didn't listen to Hot or Not this week. John did reach out. We had a nice little conversation, which another guy like I never hardly talked to, and even people were so devastated about this Cinema Lodge news, man. But I didn't listen to that this week. I'm not even sure what Manager's done. He did one show. What did he do? Let me see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. He did an all-time day. Oh, that was the Justin thing. What else we got? Nicholsworth we talked about, Hot or Not. Oh, and the other podcast, and I know it's the Billboard Chart Guys. A good show. Doesn't get a lot of views, but I listen to every one. They're very good. That's another one to really try. And then obviously, pretty much it. This network's kind of barren. Need some more shows to come on, but I'm gonna get out of here. 30 minutes in, I'm fine. I just, again, I just, to Nick's family, and I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't. From what we saw of him, it's going to be a really hard loss, and I don't think, like you said, we never really get over these things. And it's so tragic, and I'm really gonna miss him. I am gonna miss him. So that's all. I'm gonna get out of here. We'll do a show next week, I'm sure. Look out for the Brando show. He hasn't told me. He may have some special guests coming up. I don't know. He goes big. So I'm hoping he gives me what he wants to do soon, or maybe he's gonna get a new producer. Who knows? You know, could happen. Maybe it'll be Andy Mayo. I don't know. We got a lot of comments. Should I go? What do you think? Comments? No. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. All right. We'll see you later.